Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Money, your trusted source for personal finance advice. I'm Tanya Rivero in New York. Ever wonder what it would be like to work from home? With advances in technology, more and more people are looking for home-based jobs that could easily give them the flexibility of setting their own hours and perhaps find a better work-life balance.
It enables you to run your own business, be your own boss, but with the backing of another company that's there because you're selling their products or their services.
Wouldn't it be nice if your commute consisted of stepping to the kitchen for a cup of coffee, then into your home office? Well, thanks to the internet, plenty of people do it daily.
Best commute in town. Very short. Takes me about 30 seconds. We get to choose our own hours. It allows me to have the flexibility to do things with my wife and my daughter.
So there are real work-at-home jobs out there.
There is opportunities to work at home. You just need to find out what type of an opportunity you're best suited for and research it and pursue it.
For Money Talks, I'm Stacy Johnson.
If you take a look at this 40-year run on the dollar is designed economically to lose money every single year. So why would you save something that loses money every year? And what this means for somebody on retirement plans is that after you retire, the value of your dollar goes down and your cost of living keeps going up. To my rich dad, that was bad advice and made no sense. Again, it was different value. An important diagram my rich dad showed me when I was a little boy was a diagram known as a cash flow quadrant. And the quadrant is made up of the 4 different people who make up the world of business. So my rich dad said, in the world of business, there's E's. And E's stand for employees. An employee, he says, you can always tell who they are by their core values. And what the employee, whether the president or the janitor of the company, will always say the same words. The words are, I'm looking for a safe, secure job with benefits. That's what makes them an employee, because their core values are security. The other one of the 4 is the S, or the small business owner or the self-employed. And again, their core values will cause them to use the same words, which are, if you want it done right, do it by yourself. S means they're also solo. They're generally one-person act, or they operate by themselves. On the right side of the quadrant are the B's. And what Rich Dad said the B stood for was big business, or like Bill Gates. Forbes defines big business as 500 employees or more. And their words are different. They say, I'm looking for a good system, a good network, and the smartest people I know to help run my business. So they're unlike the S. They don't want to run the company by themselves. They want smart people to run their companies for them. And then the 4th of the quadrant is the I, and I stands for investor. These are people who have money work hard for them. These people are people who have people work hard for them. And these are the people that work hard for the rich here. So early on in my life, it was my poor dad who always said to me, you know, Robert, go to school and so get a high-paying job. And so my poor dad's core value was to be an employee. He wanted job security, promotions, a steady paycheck, and all this. And so it was my rich dad who said to me, he says, you know, Robert, if you really want to be rich, learn to build businesses. It made more sense to him to work hard to build a business, something you owned and something you could pass on for generation to generation to your kids. Whereas my poor dad said work hard, But my rich dad said, why would you work hard for something you'll never own and you can get fired from right away? Again, that was the difference in values. So my rich dad suggested I learn how to be a business owner and learn how to be an investor. And that's one of the big differences. On this side of the quadrant, these people here work for security. They work for money also. On this side over here, their key value that they want is they want freedom. They don't want to have to work at a job anymore. They don't want to have to work for the rest of their lives. So the beauty of building a business and learning how to invest is very simply that this is passive income. You work hard for a few years, but possibly for the rest of your life, income keeps flowing to you.
Just 3 years ago, she had never been in an airplane because of a fear of flying. Now 25-year-old Jessica Cox is a licensed pilot, which is pretty incredible considering she was born with no arms. Les Trent with her story of triumph and courage.
This pilot is flying with no hands, literally. Jessica Cox is the nation's first and only licensed pilot who has no arms.
When I tell people that I'm a pilot, they're like, what?
Jessica was born without arms, but she can do almost everything with just her feet, from putting in her contacts to texting her friends on her cell phone, even playing the piano. Jessica has a black belt in Taekwondo. She makes a living as a motivational speaker, but always had a fear of flying. So Jessica decided to face her fears head-on and got a pilot's license. She talked with our Jim Murray.
How is it possible to fly a plane without hands?
You know, it's even hard for me to believe when I'm talking about them. You just do it.
Jessica invited us up for a spin high above the Arizona desert. Her lucky flying shirt reads, "Look, Ma, no hands." She showed us how she controls her plane.
And I would have my right foot right here on the yoke, and my left foot here on the throttle. And I'm using my big toe to push on the push-to-talk switch.
So you feel perfectly safe?
I do, yes.
Is there any issue of safety at all?
You know, there's not. After, an hour, just like driving with her in a car, after an hour or so, you don't even really realize she has no arms.
Our cameras were mounted inside the small plane to see Jessica in action. Watch as she takes off. Jessica uses her left foot to control the throttle. Then her right foot pulls out the wheel as she lifts off. It looks scary, but she does it like a pro. And watch, after she makes a picture-perfect landing, she stretches her leg and opens the cockpit windows.
How was the flight?
That was fun.